Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy and this is Yoga with Jeremy. Today we've got a practice that's all about strengthening the arms. It's going to be a little bit intense, but feel free to take any easier modifications or variations that you wish, and don't forget to be kind to yourself and take a break. And let's get started with today's practice. And let's start today's practice from a standing position at the top of your mat, with the feet together and the hands to heart center. Standing nice and upright, shoulders up and back, the tailbone slightly tucked, and the crown of the head lengthened up towards the ceiling. We begin with a few simple sun salutations. On the inhale, take the arms up overhead, gazing up towards the thumbs. Then on the exhale, forward fold as you hinge at the hips, the hands down onto the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, the hands down onto the mat. Inhale, rising up all the way, palms to touch above the head. And on the exhale, hands to heart center once again. Inhale, arms up, palms to touch. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, bending forward. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Then exhale, hands down. Inhale, up all the way with the arms overhead once again, and the hands to heart center on the exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage the muscles in the back. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, rising up all the way, palms above the head. Then exhale, hands to heart center. One last time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up all the way, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Then inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold as you empty the lungs all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. On the next exhale, the hands planting down onto the mat, step straight back and we push back to downward facing dog. And for your first down dog of the day, go ahead and paddle it out, bending one knee then the other, swaying the hips from side to side, dropping one shoulder then the other. Anything that you need to feel comfortable in down dog, go ahead and do so. And whenever you're ready, coming to stillness in downward facing dog. The hips up high, the heels reaching for the mat, chest pressing towards the thighs. Good. Then let's roll forward to plank, articulating the spine, the shoulders coming over the wrists. One straight line from the crown of the head down to the heels, tailbone is tucked under with the engagement in the belly. Then push back to downward facing dog. One more time, rolling forward, coming to plank pose, and then pushing back to downward facing dog. Last one as we roll forward to plank pose, staying here in plank pose, pressing firmly through the hands, we round the spine just a little bit to find that protraction in the shoulder blades. Good. Let's find a few variations of vinyasa. And for the first one, taking the variation of knees, chest, and chin, Ashtanga Pranam, all the way down onto the mat. Slide forward, coming to a cobra pose. First one for today, no need to lift so high. Then on the exhale, let's push back to downward facing dog. Send the shoulders over the wrists for plank pose. Good. And for the second round today, knees onto the mat, and let's bend the elbows 90 degrees, lower down for a half chaturanga. Good. On the inhale, take cobra pose, the beautiful back bend with the shoulders away from the ears. Then on the exhale, push back for downward facing dog. And for the last variation today, send shoulders over the wrists for plank pose. This time, take the option of keeping the knees off the mat. Maintain the straight line from the crown of the head down to the heel. Let's bend the elbows 90 degrees, lower down for a full Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale for cobra or upward facing dog, taking whichever works better for you. Then on the exhale, push back for downward facing dog. Good. Starting to warm up and condition the shoulders. Left foot forward between the hands, low lunge. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. Stay here in this beautiful low lunge as we continue to sink the hips forward and down, crawling the left foot slightly further forward. Let's sweep the arms behind the back to interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders up and back. Finding that stretch here across the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders. Puff the chest up just a little bit, gazing 45 degrees up, holding it here for 4, 3, 2, good. And wherever you are, 1, let's tuck the back toes and lift the back knee off, coming into this high lunge variation. Still with the hands interlaced behind the back. Good. We release the hands now, lift the hands up towards the ceiling. Then draw the hands to heart center. And let's take a twist, hooking the right elbow outside the left knee, suck the belly in. And let's twist to the left here as we lift the center of the chest up to touch the thumbs. Stay here to breathe and hold. For 5, good, nice and strong. 4, 3, 2, staying exactly where we are or taking the option to open up the hands. For 1, with the right hand down onto the mat, left hand lifting up towards the ceiling. Good, going deeper into this twist, the engagement of the core. Last few breaths. 4, 3, 2, good. Bring the hands to heart center. 1, and let's untwist, plant the hands down onto the mat and take any variation of vinyasa that you wish. And we all meet up in downward facing dog. Right foot forward between the hands for low lunge. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. Crawl the right foot slightly further forward, sinking the hips forward and down. And then let's sweep the arms behind the back to interlace the fingers, rolling the shoulders up and back as you shine the chest up towards the ceiling. Stay here to breathe and hold for 5, 4, good, 3, 2, and then tuck the back toes, and 1. Lift the back knee off in this high lunge variation, maintaining the strength and the engagement in the legs here with the hips squared towards the front. Good. Lift the arms up towards the ceiling as you release the hands, and then hands to heart center, prayer twist. Hook the left elbow outside the right knee here, suck the belly in, twisting with the entire spine and not just the shoulders. Keep pulling up on the left kneecap here so we make sure that the left leg is still completely straight. For 4, 3, good. Stay focused. 2, maintaining the balance. And 1, open the hands up, left hand down, right hand lifting up towards the ceiling, or the option of staying still with the prayer twist, the hands to heart center. Wherever you are, let's twist deeper, using the arms to leverage the body as we go a little deeper for 4, 3, good, 2, hands to heart center, and 1. Untwist, hands down onto the mat, step back, and taking 1 vinyasa to come to downward facing dog. Wonderful. Good. And let's start to take things a little bit further with the work on the shoulders, the work on the arms. Send shoulders over the wrists for plank pose. With the option of knees on the mat or off, your choice, let's bend the elbows lower down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. And then coming back up to plank, this time we lift the left hand up towards the ceiling, body goes into a little bit of a rotation, gazing up towards the left thumb. Nice. And the left hand coming down onto the mat, let's lower down into a Chaturanga once again. And as you come back up to a plank, right hand lifting up towards the ceiling. That's 2. 6 times in total, right hand plants, lower down to Chaturanga, coming up to plank, left hand lift. Then left hand down, come down to Chaturanga, up to plank, right hand lift. 4 times. Good. Right hand down, down to Chaturanga, coming up to plank, left hand lift. Left hand down, going down to Chaturanga, coming up, right hand up. Nice. And last one, with the right hand down, let's go down to Chaturanga. As we come up, left hand lifting up towards the ceiling, we find side plank, rolling onto the outside edge of the right foot. Left foot is stacked on top of the right foot, lifting the hips nice and high. And if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can bring the left foot up onto the inside of the right thigh in a tree pose variation. Lift a little bit higher as we hold here and breathe for 5, 4, good, 3, 2, if you're in a tree pose, release that part, and 1. Left hand down, let's go down into a Chaturanga, coming all the way back up, right hand lifting up towards the ceiling. Take the same leg variation that you did on the other side. Stay and breathe and hold for 5, 4, steady the arms, 3, engaging the shoulders, 2, the elbow should not be hyperextended, and 1, good. Right hand down, let's push back for downward facing dog. Now look between the hands. Bending the knees, lightly hop, step or jump forward, halfway lift. Good. Then gradually now bend the knees and let's slowly lower down all the way onto the mat, coming into a seated position, butt down. Let's take boat pose. With the feet in front of you, lean back until the shins are parallel to the mat. Good. Stay here in this beautiful boat pose, with the arms extended, holding it there, engagement in the core, sitting on the sitting bones and not the tailbone for 5, 4, chest proud, 3, good, 2, and 1. As you release, planting the feet, let's come up to Malasana, garland pose, a simple squat. Take the option of having a towel underneath the heels if the heels are slightly lifted, or blocks. And with the hands to heart center, we are pushing the elbows into the insides of the knees to open up into the hips. Go ahead and sway left and right if you wish. Opening up a little bit more. Good. And when you're ready, finding crow pose, Bakasana, with the hands down onto the mat. Lift the hips up, the knees driving into the triceps, or the option of wrapping outside the triceps for something a little less challenging. Wherever you are, start to lean forward a little bit. Perhaps one toe comes off at a time, or maybe both feet lifted, finding crow pose. Trying to hold here in crow pose is a challenge for our balance, for our strength. For 5, good. 4, and we're getting ready to shoot back to Chaturanga from here. 3, so steady yourself. 2, and let's all get ready. 1, shooting back to Chaturanga and take 1 vinyasa to come to downward facing dog. Good. From downward facing dog, left leg up towards the ceiling, 3-legged dog. On the exhale, crunch the knee into the nose as you round the spine, sending shoulders over the wrists. The toes are pointed, the heel is close to the butt. Holding it here for 5, 4, so much engagement in the core and the shoulders. 3, 2, without a sound. 1, left foot is forward between the hands, finding high lunge, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. Keep the biceps close to the ears. This is how we continue to find the engagement in the arms, even though this is just a standing pose. Breathe here for 5, 4, keep the front knee stacked over the ankle. 3, 2, then on the exhale, 1, the hands down onto the mat, step back to plank. A few special vinyasas from here. Bend the elbows, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Then on the inhale, take upward facing dog, coming back to Chaturanga. Taking upward facing dog, one more time, back to Chaturanga. Good. Coming to upward facing dog and push back for downward facing dog. Right leg up for 3-legged dog. On the exhale, knee to nose, sending shoulders over the wrists, toes pointed, heel close to butt. Stay and breathe. 5. And it's perfectly fine if the shoulder even goes in front of the wrists. For 4, 3, 2, right foot, 1. Forward between the hands, let's find high lunge. The back knee is straight, the arms lifted up towards the ceiling. Stay here in this high lunge, and if you want to go deeper into the high lunge, feel free to slide the legs further apart, but keep the front knee nice and bent so that it's stacked over the ankle. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The hands down onto the mat, step back to plank pose. Once again, the special vinyasas. Bend the elbows 90 degrees, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take upward facing dog, back to Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, back to Chaturanga. Last one, upward facing dog, push back, downward facing dog. Good. Take a moment here just to catch the breath in down dog. 4, 3, 2, good, and we're getting ready for the final few challenges for our shoulders, for our arms. Send the shoulders over the wrists, plank pose, and we're going to go for a nice long Chaturanga hold. Bend the elbows 90 degrees, let's lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana, stay and breathe. 10, good. 9, steady the body. 8, don't allow the shoulders to sink. 7, tailbone tucked. 6, 5, 4, 3, option to take the knees on the mat. 2, get ready for plank pose. 1, exploding up to plank pose, push back downward facing dog. Good. The forearms now onto the mat for dolphin pose. Press firmly into the shoulders so that the chest comes closer to the thighs. As you stay here in dolphin, going deeper, take the option of walking the feet a little bit closer in. Good. We do a few dolphin push-ups, so look between the hands. Bend the elbows as we bring the nose closer to the space between the thumbs, and we push all the way back for dolphin. Good. 10 times here. Forward and back. 3 and back. 4, stay with me, back. 5 and back. 6 and back. 7, back, push stronger. 8 and back. Last 2, 9 and back. 10 and back. Coming back to downward facing dog and then drop the knees. Wonderful practice. Good. Let's take a moment now to cool down a little bit from this practice. Lying on our bellies, prone on the mat. Extending the right hand all the way to the right with the left hand underneath the shoulders. Press into the left hand so that we roll the body open. Left foot touches down on the mat behind you. Feel that stretch all across the front of the right chest, the front of the right shoulder. Take a moment here to breathe. And then getting ready now to switch sides. Coming back to center, extending the left hand all the way to the left with the right hand underneath the shoulder. Press into the hand to roll the body open. Right foot touches down on the mat behind you. Stretching into the left chest, the left shoulder, the front of the left shoulder here. And then back to center. With the hands underneath the shoulders now, let's come up to a beautiful cobra pose. Lifting nice and high. Stretching into the belly. Gazing forward. On the inhalation, the lungs puff up just a little bit to feel even greater stretch in that belly. Then on the exhale, let's push back to child's pose. And from child's pose, we finish the practice. Thank you very much for joining today's practice. My name is Jeremy and this is Yoga with Jerm. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow me on Instagram as well. Thank you.